All right, all right. I hope you guys are doing great. We're going to start class. I'm going to just quickly go over just a few things. Did you want to say hello to class? Come on. What do we say? We say hello. Yes, we say hello. Oh, not. We've got things really moved around here. So what do we say? I know, and this is a new headset because I broke the last headset and I like having the microphone on this side, but this one's over here. I have like 4 different headsets that came in, and this is the one that's going to work the best for live lecturing. So I have the whole operator system. Would you like to give to our nonprofit kind of headset going on right now, huh? Listen, I've got to work. Pop will be home soon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We already had dinner. We're waiting for the students. Yeah. Okay. All right. That being said, Lovey-Bug is going to be with us in class today. Ooh, I've got a little bit of an itch. It's probably the glasses with everything. There's so many pieces to this thing. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I got a chance to spend some class time today with some students that had some questions, and it was really sweet because not everybody was able to come to class. And then all of a sudden the students were like, are we recording this? And I was like, no, we're not recording. And so they were like, but we have some people that wish they had come and they weren't here. I was like, okay, well, so we started recording. We moved everything to Twitch, and I'm like, wait, what else did we say? You know, I was trying to get some help. But anyway, we're just kind of doing a second round tonight. Very casual. My Wednesday night lives are very casual. You can come in and pretty much ask anything about the California real estate experience. I should have another student coming in that was a previous student that is now a licensed agent, and have them express to you their experience. One of the students that I spoke to today was sharing that she put her information in with the California Department of Real Estate application process, the eLicensing process. And I have a video for that if you guys need help walking through that, or you can just request a Zoom and we can walk through it together with you. But that she submitted her information, and as soon as she submitted her information, within like a day and a half, she already had a date set for her to take the exam. And the majority of everybody else in their texting group was like, wait a second, you are, I'm like, are you military? I was like trying to figure it out. So right now with the Department of Real Estate, the website is all over the map. It was down a couple times last week, and they've got a lot of changes happening. We've got Senate Bill 1495 that's coming through, and a couple other things. Yeah, that's the security cameras. She's like, I can hear someone outside. I know you can. You can also hear the buzzing on all of our equipment. Anyway, all of that being said, I hope that you're well and that you've got some rest. We've definitely are in a time of a lot happening in the world. So I want you to stay as focused as you can. I've had a number of students cancel on me because they are with family, and I understand that. So we're not going to take a lot of time this evening to go through a lot of stuff. But one of the things I did want to go through with you is I had a student ask me about LiveScan. So live scanning for the application process, and let me open that up just for a moment. Okay. We are probably going to have Bob Barker in the house in just a moment because she's watching the door. As soon as the door opens, she's going to let everybody know that she's aware of that. So let me open this other screen for just a moment, and then I will reshare with you. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right. I'm going to share the screen. This is my Google Drive that has everything associated with anything from who could this be? Go get them. Everything from the prerequisites to what you need for the state exam to your bias training certification. This information is going to be on Canvas, or if you already have the link, that's awesome. If you need it, you can always email me, but we need to look at your fingertips. Where's at your fingertips? Hold on just a second. We'll go here. At the drive. At your fingertips. Here we go. So items at your fingertips, the one I want you to, there's a few things. One is eLicensing. I have my eLicensing video on YouTube, but it was taken down, so we re-uploaded it, but I also have it on Rumble because one of my previous students told me that they basically don't take anything off of Rumble. But one of the other things on at your fingertips, these are things that I want you guys to have available to you, is the LiveScan information. And one of the students had asked me, how does LiveScan work? Well, when you're putting in the application with eLicensing for the state exam, you will be putting in for the exam, and then you're also going to be putting in for the license. When you go through that process, you're going to be asked, if you're going to do the combo, which is the license and the exam, you're going to be asked to not only give your transcripts if you are going through LACCD or Glendale College or UCLA, but if you're going through a private institution, say Calabri, Real Estate Express, Allied Schools, any of the other places that I lecture at, those are certificates. You're going to have certificates at a private institution, but at a state or at a community college, you're going to have your transcripts. You have to upload those as a PDF into eLicensing. And when you ask for your license, either during for this combo process or after, and you want to become licensed, you're going to need to submit your LiveScan or your fingerprints to the Department of Real Estate. So this link will get you exactly to the companies that do LiveScan. It has to be a LiveScan company or LiveScan approved. So let's go in here and we can pick any county. It's all the counties in California. Let's go to Kern County. I haven't been to Kern County in a minute. So if we scroll down, once we've clicked on the county, it's going to show you the names of the companies in that county. Most of the time you'll see now in Kern County, for whatever reason, it says you can either do walk-ins or be by appointment only. This rolling fee, what they're basically sharing with you is when you go in, it's going to cost a minimum of $25 for you to work with that company. This is Arvin Police Department. When you go to Arvin Police Department, you're going to go to 200, as an example, you're going to go to 200 Campus Drive. And when you go into the building, you're going to see that, you know, fingerprints are this way and that this is that way, et cetera. Now, the key to doing this process is I've had student ask, what if, you know, they have you behind the doors and it's locked and it's this, well, there's security protocol with all of these, especially when it's a police department. But companies like AAA Bakersfield Fingerprinting, they're they have walk-ins, meaning you don't have to have an appointment. You can just literally go in, and these are the types of ways you can pay. Most people just pay with their debit card, right? Or with their Apple Pay or something along those lines if you have your watch or your phone on you. But before you go, you must have your LiveScan form filled out and handed to them, because they're going to hand it back to you with it filled out. So let's go look at LiveScan DRE.ca.gov. So you can see the form I'm talking about. It's doing something different. Come on, Google, what you doing? So we'll do DRE.ca.gov. We can check application status too, but what we're actually trying to do is LiveScan form. And that's LiveScan form. This particular form is a fill in the blank you can do right on your computer. You type in your information. So right here, it's giving you the opportunity to type in your last name, Con. My first name's Kathleen. My middle initial, it's not asking for more than that, just your middle initial. Do I have a form or last name? Date of birth, 06/04. 1974, female, 5'10", 195, 199, let's be honest. Eye color green, hair color grayish, place of birth, San Jose, California. So you fill this information out. The reason I'm willing to go through each one of these is you fill this information out. Then what happens is you don't have to worry. This form actually has the top section. It's A775, right? 0075 agency ORI number that lets them know it's with the California Department of Real Estate. They have an email code of 09416. What does that mean? Well, in the state of California, they have a completely different system where the LiveScan is just going to be submitted directly to them digitally. This is going to go through the DOJ. But a lot of times what happens is I'll have students say, I gave them the form and they just gave it back to me and I don't know what to look for. Well, down here, sorry about that, under LiveScan transaction, under part 3, operator name, date completed, transmitting agency, amount collected for the rolling fee. Now we just looked at rolling fee on the other form, right? Amount collected for the DOJ FBI processing, and then whatever the ATI number is. This information is going to be filled out. This is the information that the Department of Real Estate wants to see. Now, of course, they also need to make sure that your information is filled out. I've had a couple different students share different things. Whatever your driver's license says is your name, whatever your driver's license says is your address, that's the information you should have on that's the information you should have on eLicensing, because when you go into the Department of Real Estate to take your state exam, you're taking in your driver's license. If your driver's license has a different name than the name that's going to be taking the exam, or if it has a different address than the one that is in the paperwork, it's going to cause question, and they are not good with that. And for those of you that are like, it's okay, I can explain it away. One of the students I'm going to have come in, I'm going to have them share with you the issue with the last name. They had an apostrophe in their last name, and when they filled out the information with the Department of Real Estate, they could not, the apostrophe didn't work, or it was overridden by the Department of Real Estate, and they received a letter from the Department of Real Estate saying that their name was not the same as the name on the fingerprints, was not the same name as a couple other things, and it was just that apostrophe. And so the student called and I said, get on the phone with the Department of Real Estate and ask the person on the phone to look at the way the name is spelled and ask if they can correct it by putting in the apostrophe. And of course, they were able to get on the phone with them and get that taken care of very quickly. And they were able to not only take the exam, but they passed the exam the first time. So some of these little hiccups that are going to be happening with the Department of Real Estate, that's not the forever end of it all, right? That's just part of it. All right. And that is a little bit, so this form is the one that I would like you guys to take with you when you're doing your eLicensing. That form is the form you're going to be bringing over here. So notice right here where it says rolling fee, we saw that on that other form, the rolling fee. This information would be filled out by whomever it was. If it was the Arvin Police Department, it's going to have the name of the person at the police department that's doing the LiveScan form process for you. Now, that was the one and only question that I received from students prior to the class starting. So if you have any questions, that's great. If you don't have any questions, I'm not going to keep you longer because I know that we have had some date changes and a couple of different things with regards to when things were due. Some of the things didn't populate over like they were supposed to. So it looked like all of the vocabulary was due as of Tuesday of this past week in one of my classes. And I'm like, wait a second, what? So Stephanie was really awesome about, shout out to Stephanie, if you're, because you're not able to be here tonight, I understand. So you're going to be seeing this later. But I just want to share with you guys that if there is anything, if there's a concern with when the assignments are due, or if you're feeling like, oh man, I'm not going to get it in on time, just turn it in. You will get credit. I can't give you full credit. I can only give full credit to the people that did the work on time, right? Because that's the way it's set. But if there's something weird like that, how are all the vocabulary in one of my class, all of them are due for all 5 weeks? And that's, probably 250 vocabulary words were due on Tuesday. And I was like, no, there's something wrong with that. So I went in and I did an announcement in that class. But if you find anything like that, or if you need a few extra days, I'm here for you. I'm here for your real estate success and also your field success. If you need a letter of recommendation, I did 3 letters of recommendation. This week, I have another one from a student who doesn't even live in America that moved back to Switzerland and asked, can you give me a letter of recommendation? And I said, of course I can. It doesn't, I'm not concerned about where you're going to go to work or what you're going to do. I am more than willing to be an encouragement and help you get that next step. The letter of recommendation is key for a good broker. Asking the right questions if you have questions about who to talk to, or if you already found a broker but you're not sure if that's the right broker for you and you just want to talk to someone, I am all ears. I do have open time to meet with you guys. That's why we did that impromptu live session with only 3 students earlier today. I didn't know I was going to have 3 students in the Zoom, but I had one student say, is it okay if some other people? I'm like, yeah, as many people as you want to bring in, and we can do that. That's not the only, and these are students I don't even have anymore. These are students I had last semester that are in a text chain group together. So you might want to do that in your classes. A lot of you are definitely not here tonight, and I'm okay with that. This will be up on YouTube this evening. It's always on Twitch, and then the live, just kind of the casual conversation that I had with students after we were done with that earlier today. That was between 9 and 10. They're like, did we record this? I said, no, but we can. So we tried to or like hit record and then go, okay, what did we talk about, to try to hit all the peaks. But if there's something that you would like me to talk about in these live sessions that will help counterbalance the studying you're doing on your own, I'm totally willing to do that. That's what these Wednesdays are for. They're not preset, although next week I believe Mindy will be able to be with us so that we can have you guys interview her. And she's a student that just passed the state exam less than, well, now it's technically a month ago, but she's already closed her first deal and she's got like 5 deals in the works. She hit the ground running and she's a powerhouse. So I want you to be able to see in real time what people are experiencing in the industry right now, not me 23 years ago when I took the exam. I want you to know what the exam is like, all of the processes, why the website is acting a fool, and a couple other things. But if there's anything I
Ms.
can help you
Todd,
with. Yeah.
I have a question. My name is May.
Yeah, May, go ahead.
Hi. You know what? I did get a notification because I've already had taken 3 required classes in order to get a exam with California. Yeah. So I got the notification a couple days ago. They said that I got approved. And so now I'm getting all nervous because
No, that's good.
yeah. So it's like, should I wait a little longer, like maybe about a couple weeks before I set my my test
Test
date?
date.
Because I wanna practice more. I mean, I want to study more.
You know what I think would be encouraging is logging in to see what dates are available and then going,
Okay.
okay, because one thing I would encourage you to do is I would seriously go, okay, I give yourself 3 to 4 weeks max. Because
Okay.
more than that, you might put it off for 2 weeks. And then you're like, oh crap, I only have 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But I really
Yeah.
do believe that based on the fact that you've already took the 3 classes, that 3
Mhm.
weeks, but you have to give yourself a minimum of 30 minutes a day to 2 hours a day to study, because,
Right.
you
I've
know,
been doing that. I've been studying every day.
I love it.
But I just didn't I just don't feel like, I mean, I when I do the test, like the practice test, I do pass them, but there's still some questions that I get so nervous about that I get wrong, like my not my so strong, like topic, like when it comes to appraisal.
Right.
I feel like that's my weakest point, that one,
Oh, that
compared to
makes
other.
sense.
So,
No, that makes
and
sense, because unless you're going to become an appraiser, your focus is going to always be on the consumer, right? It's very rarely going to be on how the evaluations come in and the like. That makes a lot of sense. So I appreciate that you're sharing that. Which program are you using to study?
so, well, I took um the the one that the class to prepare with Miss, I forgot her last name. So anyway, I took that, and then a friend of mine, she also shared her username and password that she had passed her real estate exam as well. It's called First Tuesday, something like that. And then so I just log in there, and then there's a
Yeah.
lot of questionnaires, and then so that's what I've been using. So I used multiple sources, the one from school, I
Okay.
used that because I did save the multiple choices. So yeah,
Okay,
that's what I've been
so
doing.
let me give you some words of encouragement. One thing I will share with students is we're kind of in a digital world now. So when you do the studying online digitally, if whether you use your laptop or your iPad or a desktop, when you're going
Uh-huh.
through the questions, if you get the question wrong, copy or use your if you have a Google Lens on your phone, if you'll take a picture of it and then send it to
Uh-huh.
yourself by text, but build yourself an outline of all the questions you got wrong. And there's a reason for it.
Okay.
So as an example, if you want to use like Google Pages or a Microsoft Word, whatever you want to use, whatever document you want to use, put the question you got wrong and then usually I don't know about First Tuesday, but like with CompuCram, with PrepAgent, a lot of
Uh-huh.
times they'll give you an explanation and put the explanation next to it. So then the next time you take that exam or a different exam and it's asking you, I want you to hit Control F or Command. I think it's Command F on the Mac.
Uh-huh.
And look up the word and then reread. You're like, oh yeah, that's one of the questions that I was struggling with before. Okay, that's what the answer is. And start kind of just Control F and just type in one or two words to just kind of try to find it in the outline that you've already successfully built for yourself. And then that way you're going back to the information that you've already set aside that you're like, okay, I haven't absorbed that completely yet, but I know it's there. And there's a
Mhm.
feeling, this may sound strange because I'm not really great with tests, but I passed.
Mhm.
But one thing I found is if I will set aside the information and write it somewhere, whether it's in a notebook or whether it's digital on my computer, I can always go back and look at it or Control F that word or Control F those two words and find that
Right.
information. And then it's like it almost takes part of the anxiety away because it's like, okay, well, I know for sure I have some information about that one. So if I get a question like that one again, I can at least refer back to my notes. And then you're not going through now, unless you're somebody that likes to write, because I'm a writer too. I mean, I like
Yeah.
to take, notes or whatever, but either way that you want to, that will help you be more successful, whether it's
Mhm.
using your Google Lens app on your phone, or whether it's just copying and pasting it over to a sheet next to you. Whatever works best for you, do that. But I think it will help
Right.
minimize because what we do, I don't know how you are with this, but what I do is I'll be in the middle of an exam and then I'll be like, I bet you I got that. Like I'm four or five questions away from the one that I just took. And I'm like, I know I got that one wrong. And I'm thinking about
Uh-huh.
the fact that I got it wrong instead of the fact that I could have just taken a picture of the question. That's why I give everybody as many opportunities to retake exams as possible, because I don't want you, um, I don't want you thinking about that. Just go, okay, well, I'll take a note of it. Take as many notes as you can, because the more times you hear it, repetition equals retention. But we need the
Right.
repetition to be the right information. You know how they say practice makes perfect. That's not true. Practice
Yes.
makes a habit. And I don't want you to
Right.
have a habit of the wrong. I want to like help you work smart and then play hard. I'm a big fan of playing
Right.
hard. But I don't want you to feel and I also want you to feel successful in this process, because this is a weird language.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Um, I've been in school since when I started February. And then so I decided to take more real estate classes because, it can hurt, And so
Right.
yeah, summer I took the pre-licensing class with Miss Colleen
Yes.
Tabor.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really helped me. So I'm using some of the questions that she provided, like, like to take, like, for quizzes and exam. So yeah, I do have this app where I can load like questions and, for multiple choices, and it adapts to your answers pretty much. So like the ones that you miss, those are the ones that it focuses on. So
Oh, I love that.
it's really helpful. Yes. And the problem is I have to manually, type it in one by one. Like, so it doesn't like, like, so I use the ones that like, your quizzes. So I could load those if I want, but it takes a lot of time to loading them, you know.
Oh my
So
gosh, absolutely. Holy
yeah,
cow.
but yeah, but I just want to get to where I really feel comfortable, like I feel confident, like because right now when I'm practicing, I'm getting my percentage is 78%. I feel like that's not sufficient, even though the passing is 70, because I want to be like at 80 or 90, so then I know that I will, pass. That's just, I don't know.
No, 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 that's a
I
really good
think.
thing. One of the students I had, they were using CompuCram and she was getting
Mhm.
between 90 and 93% right. She went and took the state exam and she
Mhm.
called me crying. She was like, it was terrible. I don't think I passed. She was panicking. And I'm like, wait, what was your percentage with CompuCram? And she's like, between 91 and 93%. I was like, okay, either, and I mean this in the nicest way, either you're lying to me and
Uh-huh.
and it was like 63% or something like that, or you did fine and you might have like test amnesia or test stress that you weren't aware, because this is somebody who hasn't been back to college in like 20 years or something like that. And she's like, it was just so stressful. I'm like, yeah, but the drive there is stressful, and finding parking and getting through security and getting to the third floor. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's all these levels of stress that come with, and anxiety that come with this process, that to
Mhm.
to say it was the exam, I'm like, it could have been 100 things that day. And so she did, she completely passed. And she's like, I can't believe I passed. I'm like, but you told me that you were getting, 91 to 93% on CompuCram. I'm like, you probably were able to answer. That's my key to these classes are, if you know the terms, even if you don't know how to
Mhm.
answer the question, but if you know the vocabulary terms for the 4 options, you're going
Right.
to be able to answer that question. And if there's 5,000 questions on the state exam, I don't know how to present to you all 5,000 questions. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so it's like, so we try to work with the 754 vocabulary terms, a few of those,
Yeah. Yeah, like it's crazy because the vocabulary, like I'm pretty much, I know it. I won't be able. It's crazy, just like how my brain works. It's like I know what it is, but I can't tell you like word for word what it is. The moment I see what it is on the multiple choices, I will know. That's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
yeah.
And
But
yeah, and it's
so
that transition. It's the transition. It's like, okay, I know what this means. How do I explain this to a client? And then you're like,
right.
it's like leaving your dog like you're so that hopefully someone will adopt it. You're abandoning the
Hmm.
dog, and of course abandonment's like the easiest term, but the trying to find a way to calculate out the layman's term of it. And that's hard,
Uh-huh.
but I'm
Yeah.
trying to, I don't know. I'm not trying to give you guys more work than you need, but I also, so I don't know.
Right. So yeah, my friend, the one that she lent me her username and password for, the ones she uses, she tells because she passed it the first time as well. And she
Sweet.
told me, May, this is the only thing that you need. I guarantee you most of the questions on this is on the test. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And so I kept telling her, I'm like freaking out. She said, don't freak out. Trust me, just study this. It's gonna be there on the test. And she said, I passed it the first time, she said. So
I would trust her.
yeah, I
No,
think I'm
don't
good.
trust me, because I took it, it's been 20 some odd years ago. So
Uh-huh.
that's why I try to bring students in that just passed, so that they can tell you guys, okay, this is what's happening as of this year, or this is what's happening
Mhm.
as of this month, because then it encourages you to let you know that you guys are on the right path. But
Right.
there, me saying that, it's not going to benefit, don't get me wrong. I think it'll benefit you, but I think there's a stronger benefit. Well, I'd love to have your friend come into class and just talk to the students on a live Wednesday night if potential, if possible, just to say what they used, because I've never used Tuesday
Mhm,
morning, but I've encouraged people to use CompuCram. I've encouraged people to use PrepAgent. I even give out my
mhm.
PrepAgent password and ID because I'm like, I'm not using it, but I paid for it for the year, so we might as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think I'm just, freaking out. I think I'm just like all in my head because I really want it so bad. I really want to pass it the first time, and so
Of
I think I'm
course.
just, but yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you, how long should I wait? I mean, like I said, I've been studying from the beginning, and um, so I just, I want to make sure, like I said, I want to feel really confident going in, even though like I'm telling you, like the appraisal, that's the one that's like getting to me. And then my friend
Yeah.
told me, well, you're not going to be an appraiser though. So
Right.
she said, trust me, that the questions there about appraisal is very minimal. That's what she said. So,
No, they are. And the thing is, the concerns you should have are with any of the laws that have changed, everything that's consumer driven. When it comes to
uh-huh.
the thing about appraisals is what do appraisers do appraisals for? So it's either for us to help, it's to help either people buy homes, it's to help
Hmm.
people get their houses insured, it's for building a property, right? Whether commercial or residential. And then it's also, and the insurance side of it is like, what is going to be the cost per square foot in order to build it back to what it is now? What's the value of the building in the shape it's in now? And then, so you can see why there's the cost approach. And
Hmm.
then if it's more than one floor, it's talking about the cubic square feet versus the square feet. And some of these,
Hmm.
and you might be going like, how do I know that? Well, because I
Yeah.
teach the classes, but I'm going to tell you right
Mm.
now, as a real estate agent, I never calculated that out the cubic square foot of a
Uh-huh.
property to go, oh, well, the value of that, you know what I mean? So please,
Yeah.
like, take it with it, listen to your friend, take it with a grain of salt
Uh,
that you're going to be asked a few questions about the
mhm.
understanding of, and what it is everything goes hand in hand when it comes to the
Mhm.
client. So you've got the appraiser, you've got you as the realtor. I'm calling the future into the present, and I'm calling to call you. I'm manifesting for you that you're the realtor, right?
Mhm.
So there's you, the realtor. You've got the appraiser. You guys work hand in hand, and then there's you, the realtor. Then there's the escrow or the neutral third party that's doing all the paperwork, and then there's
Mhm.
the other eight. So it's knowing how you guys all work together is part of the powerhouse of being able to pass the exam as well. But more than
Yeah.
anything, it's the consumer driven regulations.
Yeah.
And
And
um,
I work for a credit union and I'm a mortgage servicer, to be honest. And
oh, that's so cool.
yeah, I'm already familiar with all the documents because I deal with the mortgage, loans, and I service the property taxes, the homeowners insurances, as subordination and things like that. So I'm very familiar with, purchase loan, and I see those documents all the time, and then the settlement statement, things like that. So I'm already familiar on that side of things, the finance side, I should say. Yeah.
Oh no, that's awesome. Are you thinking about going and getting an MLS license as well, or no? Or you don't need it because you're at the
No, I
credit
I
union?
want to. I want to as well, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but we'll see. Like I do want to work because I'm also wanting to get my AA, and well, I know I'm not going to be a real estate broker yet until I practice, as a real estate agent for at least 2 years, but that's what I'm trying to get, my
Okay.
AA on that. So,
Awesome. Okay. Yeah.
but yeah.
You can you can do it. This is just one step in the right direction. You're already headed the right direction, so we're just going to take another step. It's not a hurdle, it's not a marathon. You're just already
Hmm.
you're already pacing yourself. You're already in the industry. So you're going to be fine, especially when you're surrounded by people that are doing the work.
Hmm.
It's different than most of my students. It's clinical, so that it's all
Hmm.
hypothetical. Well, if you were in this kind of experience, whereas you're in that experience on the day to day, so you're dealing with it in real time. It's going to, the retention of the way you're going through is going to be completely different. And that's awesome.
Yeah. So, well, I just gotta really study. You know, I think I'll be fine.
Well, put a fleece out today or tomorrow, whatever day today or tomorrow that you're studying. And what I
Okay.
mean by my mom and dad would say, put out a fleece. And what we mean by that in our family is see where you are in 5 days. If you go
Okay.
from being at a 73% passing rate and you get to an 80
Mm-hmm.
within the week, then go set your exam for 2 or 3 weeks from now or less, because you're going, by the time you take it, you'll be at a 90 to a 93% pass. I want to try to get you closer to a 90 to a
Mm-hmm.
93% pass, because even if it's a hard exam,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to feel far more successful. And the person I'm talking to you about that had that and cried, and she's like, I don't think I did. She didn't come from any type of financial background. She's in none of the industry. So she
Mm-hmm.
was like, everything was like, Greek. I'm like, no, 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 don't worry. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. But, I would do that. My mom and dad would say, put a fleece out, try to measure your retention from today
Mm-hmm.
to like 5 days from now, and then set your date. Cause now that you have your date available to you, get it done. That way you
Right.
can hit the ground running and get your 2 years out of the way so that you can go take your brokers,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I get more, I'll study more for, I'm thinking maybe for 3 weeks, since, I haven't even checked what days, the test dates are, because I was like so scared to look. I don't know
No,
what's
oh
wrong
no,
with me.
no, no. Well, see, but that's the thing is it's the unknown. It's there's so much more fear associated with the unknown than there is with anything else. That's why the movie Jaws worked so well. If that
Uh,
animatronic shark had actually worked, that movie would have been cheeseball. But because it was
yeah,
broken, everything was
yeah.
from the shark's perspective. You couldn't see the shark, you could only see what the shark was seeing. So the same thing goes with everything else that's fear driven. All
Hmm.
you're doing, because at this point they're like, you're approved, we need you to pick the date, and then
Hmm.
you can log in a few times and not never pick a date, just to kind
Right.
of see what's available. Because you also need to find out the closest testing site to where you are, and then figure out what's the travel going to be. Should I take it at noon? Should I try to take it
Yeah.
at 8 and maneuver through whatever that traffic
Yeah.
is? And
Yeah, I was thinking about that, because I was like, it matters what time I take it, because sometimes I don't want to go in, like, when I'm feeling like, like sometimes when you study, like when I feel like my brain is so fried, like nothing would register. I don't want to get to that point.
oh no,
Um,
exactly.
so my friend told me, she's like, take it like right around noon, she said, because you're gonna deal with the traffic. Because I live in Glendale, so she said the closest is, still far. And
Yeah.
then she told me, yeah, you don't want to, don't do it in the morning, because you're gonna be rushing, and so take your time, take it like around noon, so then get up early, start heading there, because the traffic and everything. So yeah.
Oh, no, I'm in complete agreement. I took mine in Fresno, and the reason I
Uh-huh.
took it in Fresno at that time was it was easier for me to drive from the Silicon Valley to Fresno
Uh-huh.
because parking wasn't a problem in downtown Fresno, instead of going, at that point they had one either in Santa Clara or San Jose. And
Mhm.
but that, trying to get through that traffic and that parking and that whatever, it was easier for me to drive an extra 35 minutes to
Mhm.
get to Fresno. And I had family in Fresno, so I was like, we'll go to lunch or whatever. But
Mhm.
whatever, I'm in complete agreement that going and doing the one at noon is going to be the most beneficial for you, because it's the noon hour is a little bit like you can breathe a little bit, whereas
Right.
trying to get through traffic at the morning one's 8 a.m. I think.
Mhm.
And so if you're leaving Glendale, you might have to leave at what, 6? Not
Mhm.
and I'm going to say this, and I say this to all the students, try to get there 30 minutes to 45 minutes before your test time,
Mhm.
because that way, if there is any type of work being done on the road, that happened to me for my insurance license, they they had work on the road. So the road you could only go one, it was a one way. It wasn't really a one way, but you know what I mean? So then that
Yeah.
added like another 20 minutes to my, GPS
Mhm.
is like your drive is going to be, 4 minutes. And then like 18 minutes later, I'm like 4 minutes my foot. But just some of those, I'm trying to be as encouraging as I possibly can. But you know how California is with their roads, and they're always
Right.
they're only going to work on the road that you need to get to. That's
Mhm.
just kind of the way that works. But yeah, noon sounds like the perfect opportunity, and it doesn't hurt. Just log in, check it out, see what
Okay.
they have available.
I'll
and
log in tonight.
yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really
Oh my gosh.
appreciate it.
And if you have any questions, then if you want to do it live on Wednesdays, or if you want to send me a video, we can totally do a Zoom without the class, without it being recorded.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, May. All right. Well, May and I were chatting. Thanks to everybody that's going to be watching this later. It'll be uploaded eventually. But if anybody has any questions, I'm an email away. Sometimes I'm not great with the emails. It takes almost a whole 24 hours for me to get back to you, sometimes 36 on accident. That's not purposeful, but I'll do what I can. I'm always a Zoom away. I'm always an email away, and we will get your questions answered to the best of my ability as soon as possible. All right. All right. Have a good
Thank you.
night. Of
Bye.
course, May. Thank you so much.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Of course. Oh, and we've got somebody else that wants to say bye. Say bye.
Oh,
Love you.
how
Bye.
cute. Hi.
All right. Well, we'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. We say bye. Love you. Bye. Bye. Okay.